My name is Vincent Gardner. I was born in Chicago on Halloween in 1972, and I grew up in Virginia. I left Chicago at a very early age and grew up in Virginia Beach and Hampton, Virginia. I got my start playing music from being exposed to it through my family. I come from a musical family where both of my parents are both professional musicians and both are music educators. They both have doctorates in music education. And so I was always around them either playing or teaching in one way or another. And so it was just natural that after hearing my mother, play piano at church every morning, I'd want to play piano a little bit. After hearing my father play trumpet, I would want to play some kind of brass instrument. I was exposed that way. And I, soon after, as I became of age, I started to play trombone after going through a bunch of other instruments. I started singing in my mother's church choir. My mother she is still the minister of music at First Baptist Church in Hampton, Virginia, and has been doing that for 30-something years now, I guess. And before that, she had various church jobs, all while I was growing up. So I was always doing that. I was always in the church choir, and then, as you get older, and you start to equate your voice with the pop music that's out today, out at the time. I started to do stuff like sing Michael Jackson songs when I had a high voice, because I could sing in his range when I was 11 or 12, and then as my voice changed, I started to sing like other people, and try to do stuff like that. But I was always singing because of my association with the church choir.
It's very clear our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. Well, the telephone and the radio and the movies that we know may just be passing fancies, and in time they may go.
My two main influences on trombone are J.J. Johnson and Jack T. Gardner, for very different but in some ways similar reasons. J.J. Johnson conceived of a style that had never been played before, so he took an instrument that was up to that point in history thought of to only play a certain way, associated with the style of earlier jazz. A lot of glissandos, a lot of smears, a lot of the things that kind of are the prototypical trombone sounds that you hear. He took all of that and heard something completely different. A style of playing the trombone that was fast and clean and articulate, and that conveyed the new language that was coming out around that time, the music of bebop. And he could envision and could actually hear playing the trombone with the same amount of velocity and cleanliness of a saxophone player or any keyed instrument. And that in itself, for that time, was revolutionary to even think of that instrument like that, because nobody had thought of it like that. The only person that came close to that was Jack T. Gardner. Jack T. Gardner, before J.J. being about 15 years or so J.J.'s senior, Jack T. Gardner he envisioned playing the trombone with a very clean attack, but still having a lot of those indigenous kinds of sounds, the smears and the slides and the things that were associated with New Orleans music and the early big band music of this country. He could play that way, but with a much cleaner style and a much sweeter sound than most other trombone players were playing at the time. So I was actually influenced by J.J. first, and then I heard Jack T. Gardner later, and I couldn't believe that there were that many similarities by somebody who was older than J.J. Johnson. I thought he was the first until I heard Jack T. Gardner.